welcome to this deep dive, The Learner. Today, we're really zeroing in on the world of Spanish football, specifically looking at a La Liga match from Saturday, May 24th, 2025. Real Madrid taking on Real Sociedad.
And we've pulled together quite a mix of sources for you. We've got everything from, detailed match reports from places like Managing Madrid, Madrid Universal, Bola.net, Goal.com.
All the big sports sites.
Exactly. Plus, we've got some YouTube transcripts, ETSH and Football TV, which give you that more immediate kind of play-by-play feel.
Yeah.
And even a pregame look from Sportsmole.
Right. And our goal here isn't just, the final score. We want to unpack this match, figure out what it really meant for both teams, and maybe highlight some things that didn't make the main headlines.
Yeah, like the game itself, obviously, but also some really quite emotional farewells that happened and a potential injury worry that popped up.
Okay, so where do we start digging into all that?
Well, let's get straight to the result. Real Madrid won 2-0 against Real Sociedad.
And the key man was Kylian Mbappe.
Absolutely. He bagged both goals, a brace, as they say. That was pretty much the difference maker on the day.
Okay, that first goal, it came in the 38th minute, and there was a bit of drama around it, wasn't there? A VAR decision involved.
Yeah, that's right. The video assistant referee, VAR, spotted a handball. It was Real Sociedad's Pablo Marin. Penalty to Madrid.
But it wasn't straightforward from the spot.
No, actually. Unai Morero, the Sociedad keeper, he made a great save initially from Mbappe's penalty.
Yeah.
Really good stop.
But Mbappe followed up.
He did. Showed that striker's instinct, quickest to react, put the rebound away, showed real focus there.
And the second goal came much later.
Much later, yeah. 83rd minute, classic counterattack, really fast break.
Who set that one up?
Vinicius Jr. He come on as a sub, made the assist, and Mbappe finished it off nicely into the far corner. Clinical stuff.
So this win, where did it leave Madrid in the final league standings?
Well, despite the win, they finished second in La Liga, 84 points. Barcelona took the title.
And Real Sociedad. How did their season end?
They finished down in 11th place with 46 points. Probably a bit disappointing for them. Likely hope for higher up the table.
Okay, so beyond the scoreline, this match felt significant for other reasons. The atmosphere at the Bernabeu sounded pretty special. Lots of goodbyes.
Oh, definitely. It was a really big day for farewells. Luka Modric, for starters, 13 years at the club. This was his last La Liga game for Madrid.
Wow, 13 years? That's an era ending right there.
It really is. He played almost the whole game, 87 minutes, and got this massive standing ovation when he came off. Loads of reports called it his last dance at the Bernabeu. A true legend.
And he wasn't the only huge figure leaving, was he? The manager, too.
That's right, Carlo Ancelotti. It was the end of his second spell in charge. Word is he's off to manage the Brazilian national team next.
Big job. He's won a lot with Madrid over the years, hasn't he?
He certainly has.
Yeah.
6 years in total across the two stints and 15 trophies. Quite the record. His sort of calm authority will be missed, I think.
And there was another player saying goodbye, a long-serving squad member.
Lucas Vazquez, yeah. Been there for years, apart from that loan spell at Espanyol. Always reliable. He got a great round of applause, too, when he was subbed off. Proper recognition for his service.
You can just imagine the feeling inside the stadium. Must have been quite emotional.
Yeah, all the sources really emphasize that. Fans paying tribute, lots of emotion. It shows that connection between the club, these individuals, and the supporters.
But it wasn't all looking back. There was a concern looking forward, involving Brahim Diaz.
Yeah, unfortunately. He picked up a fresh injury during the game, and the worry is he'd only just come back from a thigh problem.
Oh no. Was it the same injury flaring up?
Seems like it, yeah. Reports mentioned discomfort in the same left leg. He had to come off around the 56th minute.
That puts his Club World Cup participation in doubt then. That's coming up soon in the U.S.
It really does, especially with Xabi Alonso coming in as the new manager. Yeah. Diaz would want to be fit to impress him.
Absolutely. Bad timing.
And it probably means he'll miss the international break with Morocco, too. Just delays everything for him.
Right. Let's maybe switch back to the match specifics. Played at the Bernabeu's, standard La Liga stuff.
Yep, Santiago Bernabeu in Madrid. Kickoff was 4:15 p.m. local time, Central European time.
Which is what, morning time in the U.S.?
10:15 a.m. Eastern time, yeah. Some sources helpfully point that out.
Good to know. And we got the starting lineups. How did Madrid set up?
They went with a 4-4-2. Lunin was in goal.
Okay.
Then Fran Garcia, Raul Asensio, Chouamani playing center back, which is interesting, and Lucas Vazquez at right back.
And the midfield.
Midfield four was Brahim Diaz, Ceballos, Modric, of course, and Valverde. Up top, Mbappe alongside Arda Güler. Pretty attacking, balanced shape.
And Real Sociedad. similar formation.
Also a 4-4-2. Unai Moreira in goal for them.
Right.
Defense was Munoz, Pacheco, Martin, and Aramburu. Midfield had Sergio Gomez, Lucas Sucic, Turientes, and Tea Kubo. Forwards were Pablo Marin and Arcades Maurice Carina. Looks like they expected a midfield battle.
And there were quite a few substitutions throughout the game. Vinicius Jr. came on for the injured Brahim. We mentioned that.
Yeah, 56th minute. Sociedad made a bunch of changes too, mostly in the second half. Sagasti came on for Marine right at halftime.
Tactical switch, maybe.
Could be. Then Traore for Turientes around 70 minutes. Oyarzabal for Maurice Carina just after. Zakarian for Gomez a minute later. Trying to change things up. Lopez for Sucic late on too.
And Madrid's other changes, apart from Vinny Jr.
Gonzalo Garcia replaced Lucas Vasquez in the 77th minute. And the big one, Chema Andres, came on for Modric in the 87th minute, which allowed that huge ovation.
Yeah, that moment for Modric. It's also worth remembering Madrid were missing quite a few players for this one, weren't they?
Oh, massively. That's a really key bit of context. Loads of big names out. Bellingham suspended, though. There was an appeal pending. Rudiger, Mendy, Alaba, Camavinga, Rodrigo, Endrick, Carvajal, all unavailable.
Wow, that's practically half a first team.
Pretty much. So getting a 2-0 win, even at home, against a decent Sociedad side, well, it's actually quite impressive given the circumstances.
And it frames that end of season feeling, too, despite this win.
Right. As we said, second in the league, but ultimately a season without major trophies. Barcelona beat them in the Copa del Rey final and the Super Cup final. So this win was a positive finish, but the overall season maybe wasn't what they hoped for in terms of silverware.
Okay, let's get into some of those little extra details, the intriguing bits from the sources.
Yeah, there were a couple of interesting things. One source suggested Mbappe was really pushing for the Pichichi, the golden boot for top scorer in La Liga.
Ah, so his goals weren't just about the win or the farewells. Personal ambition, too.
Possibly, yeah. Adds another dimension to his performance, doesn't it? That drive for individual honors alongside the team result.
It does. And there was some transfer talk floating around, too, looking ahead to the Xabi Alonso era.
Yeah, Nico Williams' name popped up, the Athletic Club winger. He's seen as a potential target for Madrid under Alonso.
Athletic usually hold on to their players, though, don't they?
They do. Their manager, Valverde, said he expects Nico to stay. But there's apparently a release clause, around 58 million. So Madrid could potentially just trigger that if they really wanted him. Definitely one to keep an eye on over the summer.
Interesting. And those YouTube transcripts you mentioned earlier, did they give a different flavor compared to the written reports?
Yeah, they give you that much more sort of immediate feel. You get the near misses, the saves from both keepers.
Yeah.
Lunin and Marrero both had work to do the ebb and flow of the match. It captures the excitement and the tension in real time almost.
Right, more of the raw action.
Exactly. Things that might get condensed in a standard match report.
Okay, so let's try and pull all these threads together. What's the big takeaway from this deep dive into Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad? It's clearly more than just a 2-0 win.
Oh, absolutely. It really feels like a snapshot of Real Madrid in transition. You've got the end of an era with Modric and Ancelotti leaving hugely emotional moments. But you also see the team still competing hard, with Mbappe stepping up decisively. And then there's that shadow of the Brahim Diaz injury casting a bit of doubt just as the club looks towards the Club World Cup and the new manager.
So for you, the learner, hopefully you now have a much more rounded picture of this match, not just the score, but the emotions, the key individual stories, and what it might mean for Real Madrid going forward.
And maybe here's something to think about. As Real Madrid moves into this next phase, new coach, some legendary players gone, how do you think the legacy of someone like Modric or a manager like Ancelotti, how will that actually influence the club's identity, maybe their style of play, their chances of success in the future?
Yeah. It's a complex question, isn't it? Lots of layers there, just like in the sources we looked at. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.